What's up, world? Hey, it's your boy No in this thing, man. I know it's been a couple of weeks, since I've been on, but I'm actually in the process of relocating, so I've been a little busy. And I just want to kind of reach out to you guys today and kind of talk about a couple of things, like the Candace Owens, unfortunately, the Slim 400 shooting, the Tatiana Jefferson case a little bit, and about disturbingly this man who confessed to shooting I believe his new ex-girlfriend or whatnot, and also his ex-wife on Facebook Live. So let's dive right into it, man. So saw this video today, and you guys probably already seen it, but we have Candace Owens on here, and of course, I'm using this for fair use. All right. So let's see. We can go ahead and play this real quick. Let's go.
They're so race obsessed. And one thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist. But when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when perpetrator is a black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. Now, what's interesting here is that the two biggest race cases of the last 2 years, arguably George Floyd and Kyle Rittenhouse, never actually produced a single piece of evidence pointing to race, right? George Floyd, Derek Chauvin never used racial language or racial slurs against George Floyd during that arrest. It didn't matter. It became the biggest race case in America. Kyle Rittenhouse, that case had to do with 3 white people. It didn't matter. Distracted racial narrative for that case. Here you have a man who's pointedly talking about white people all across social media, sometimes genocidal, by the way. He was sharing posts from Zimbabwe, news sources talking about the disappearance of white people in the country in the next 5 years as if it was a good thing.
I'm gonna stop it right there. All right, so let's get back to it, man, real quick before we transition back. Now, you see Candace Owens doing what she typically does, kind of pandering to the right, her base, to white supremacy and just biasness, man. It's hard to really take her serious. A lot of people know that she is uh, uh, an immigrant of immigrant legacy, and so one thing that a lot of people have been pointing out that um, a lot of people who migrate here, who immigrate here, whatever, a lot of them kind of pander to the dominant, what we call the dominant society, and kind of make themselves separate from what we call Black Americans to make themselves, I guess, appear more favorable in the eyes of the white society, right? Try to make them seem like they're not a threat or whatever. But she goes on this tangent to say that black people, black Americans, are the most murderous groups in America, and I will admit that we do have issues going on within our culture and our community, but I can't say we are the most murderous. It's uh, I think that the population of Black Americans aren't even plentiful enough to even justify that argument. So I think it's just a narrative that has been portrayed by the media mainly because of the promotion and the marketing of violence in the Black community. Not and like I said, not to say that there is not um, a significant amount of violence that occurs in the community, but other communities have a lot of violence that just goes. I can say not talking about as much, but it really isn't. And by many communities, just a sure number of people in the community would, to me, tend to show that there are more murders going on by different ethnicities. But but while we're talking about that, you know, it is interesting that she would kind of pander to the audience to say things like that, knowing that it would trigger some type of emotions by people, and wonder why many people look at her as what they call a sellout. Now, you do what you need to do to, get your likes and get your hits and sell your products, but it must come to a fine line where you have to have some type of integrity and not, what we call sell your soul just to make some money. Now, I I also see that there is a lot of money being made off of I guess getting black people emotionally tied up in a lot of different causes. Like for instance, when they had the Black Lives Matter uh, cause was real strong. A lot of these organizations get millions and millions of dollars off donors. They're able to sell their T-shirts and their products and their books and this and that and the third off of getting people emotionally invested in some of these movements without actually producing the results, the tangible results that they speak about. Many of these people just use us to help fuel their propaganda, their initiatives, and so it becomes a hustle to a degree. I call it like I guess like the black rights hustle. Now, you got many people who talk, black empowerment, black black injustice to the black community, the cops killing blacks and this, that, and the third. But many of these people just, they do this, and then at the end of that video, they say, "Buy my T-shirt," or "Buy my new book," or whatever the case, "Buy my new DVD." And so you have to kind of wonder: are these people really in it to really help and empower us, or are they in it just for their own hustle, their own gain, their own monetary gain? And so that's where you have to kind of draw the fine line. Now, we'll come back to that. Just to kind of sum up with the Candace Owen thing, man. I definitely think that she's wrong, and just speaking like that on Tucker Carlson, you kind of already know where she's coming from and where she's angled at. But I understand what she means. In our community, that we do need to address some of the things that are going on. Promotion of the violence through our music, the promotion of just uh, uh, just fornication and adulterous behavior. A lot of those things do need to be addressed and quelled and to get us back on the right path. But just to sit up there and say that we are the most murderous group in the country, to me, is just a flat out lie. And she's just doing it for shock value. So don't get caught up on that, guys. But you do have to be aware of these people who are here, race hustling. They just, get you riled up, tell you that the white man is the boogeyman, and you need to buy a new book to find out how, or buy a new DVD or whatever to find out how to solve the race problem. And when they not, hitting the ground and hitting the streets or making the proper contributions back to really build community centers or, reach people, give free lectures and seminars, build food banks, start grocery stores, whatever they could do to help. Now, my last video, I had wanted to put this video up why I saw Kwame Brown kind of talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and he was saying how the Kyle Rittenhouse case, we were all caught up on that, but we weren't paying attention to the Ahmaud Arbery thing, and you know, and then he went on to say how Kyle Rittenhouse he felt was justified in the shooting, and it was self-defense. You saw the dude with the gun who was pointing at him, the other dude running up with the skateboard who went to go hit him. So Kwame Brown, he was saying that he was, he like, man, it's self-defense. Let's not even pay attention to that. Let's focus and make sure these guys for Ahmaud Arbery get convicted. Well, I also watched the video where Professor Black Truth went on to call Kwame Brown, basically just saying that he's a puppet master working for the opposition, and we should have knew better, and you guys, black people, we basically saying we ignorant and we stupid and for following him, and we always getting the wool pulled over our eyes, and just went on a tangent to bash a lot of black people if you didn't, basically take their perspective. And this is my thing. And I ask you this here. Whether you right or you wrong, who would you respect more? A person who may be wrong, different from your views, different from your point, your perspective, but they are willing to get on camera or talk to you face to face and discuss their perspective, their point of view. Now, if you know who Professor Black Truth, Professor Black Truth, and But let's just stick with Professor Black Truth. But we have another one. I can't think his name right off the tip of my tongue. But these gentlemen, they have thousands of subscribers and they get thousands of views on their videos, but they never show their face. They talk the black empowerment thing. We need to get out here in March. They talk about how bad white supremacy is and this, that, and the third. But you don't know what they look like. Like on their videos, you don't see their face at all, but they talk that black empowerment talk. They talk that rah talk and get you emotionally invested in what they're talking about, but they don't show their face. Now, whether you agree with Kwame Brown or not, at least he's willing to put his face on the camera and give his perspective. You know, just like with me, you may not agree with everything I say, and I don't expect you to, but I feel like that I'm gonna be man enough to tell you my perspective and also let you see who I am. Now I could just put, the picture up on the screen and just talk about what I want to talk about and hide behind just hide behind whatever image I put up. But I don't want to do that. I want you to be able to do the same. Just like kind of like when people make comments on your videos or on your Facebook page or your Instagram, they make comments, but they create fake profiles that don't have a picture on it, and you don't know who you're really even talking to. So you have to, call it what, like trolling or whatever. So you have to take it with a grain of salt, man. I just really feel like that, whether you right or wrong, stand on your ground, stand on your purpose, be willing to show your face and, be willing to speak your truth. People don't have to agree with you all the time. I feel like that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they didn't agree with each other, on a lot of things. But guess what? At the end of the day, they had the same, end game. They had pretty much the same end game in mind. And it's like, traveling down two different streets or two different roads. If I'm in Dallas, so if you taking I-30 and you taking I-20, both of them are two different roads, two different freeways, highways, but they leading you to pretty much the same area. So it's just two different ways of getting something accomplished. But I just really feel like, when Professor Black Truth, they tried to call Kwame out for that. I feel like that, they were bashing a lot of black people who don't take their perspective. And you shouldn't bash people for not, agreeing with your point of view. And just debate them intelligently and get them to see your side, argue with them how emotions involved, because it makes it seem like, you get so emotional and you're not willing to hear what another person's perspective will have to say. It makes it seem like that you're not being genuine and really trying to find a resolution. It's either like your way or the highway type of deal, right? So we have to do better as a race, as a community, as a culture, as a nation, not just as black people, because you have to be honest with yourself. There are a lot of black people uh, in our culture that may not want to see you as successful. There are white people, there are Hispanic, there are Asian people. You got people, from different walks of life that don't want to see you successful, almost regardless of the color. So we must find a way to push on. Not saying that this is not a team sport and you on the black team or whatever the case may be, but sometimes you may have to utilize people from other teams to help you get to where you need to be. So watch out for the people who using the race hustle and baiting you in. Don't fall for it, man. Just stay on your P's and Q's and stay true to who you are, what's in your soul, and what's in your heart, man. So, and we're gonna go ahead and move on, man. Now I'm gonna go ahead and transition to this next video I saw, man, and it was a sad little video. It was the rapper Slim 400, man, and I'm gonna share this real quick. Let you see this TMZ video, man. I hope I don't get no but strikes, but I'm just using it for for hopefully for fair use and just really to give you some perspective on this, man. What's going on out here, man? And I've been talking more about this type of stuff, in a second. So let's play this real quick. So you see the little gunman look like he run up on him. He's sitting in his car right there. Man. Man, and it just seems just all right, so let me stop there right there, man. And it seems like, man, with that situation, man, And it's possibly maybe there's some internal way, maybe having some type of game beef or just neighborhood beef or just anything, man. Um, Man, I appreciate it, GK. I appreciate it, bro. Straight up. We could have been having some type of internal conflict. I don't know the whole story, but I'm gonna speak out on this. This is what I'm going to say. The same thing with Nipsey Hussle, even Pop, even Young Dolph who just passed here recently, right? My main thing is this here, man. If we decide to get out the game and change our lives, I think we really should change the lyrics that we putting out into the world as well, man. Because James back America, we got got caught up in our emotions. Yeah, absolutely. Now, GK, you're absolutely right, man. A lot of us we get these people just they plan this, man. They run out to the bank, hit my cash app, and sign up for my Patreon. They get you to do all this for them. But at the end of the day, you the one that needs the help. Why am I giving to you? You already got millions of dollars. How about you support my little small business or support my school or my neighborhood, my community, my hood or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you always asking for the Patreon donation. I'm not understanding that, right? But anyway, so like I was saying, like with these rappers getting killed, even with like Pac, man, it's like to me, it's like once you reach a certain status and a certain level, man, I got a business call I gotta take. Let me tell him, man. Oh man, I gotta take this business call, y'all. All right, excuse me, y'all. Hey, what's up, C? Hey, yeah. I mean, yeah, man, you ready right now? Can you give me about 5? Can you give me about 5 minutes? Appreciate it, bro. Bet. Jill. Sorry about that word. I apologize. Business call. So I got to really get on this business call real quick. But I was just saying, like, when these rappers reach a certain level, man, I really wish that they would get off the negativity, stop speaking those gang lyrics, the hustling lyrics, stop putting all those guns in your videos, man. Just change your image, man. That's why I give a shout out to Chameleon there, man. Even I don't know. I don't really listen to Slim Thug like that. I'm from Texas, but I know he got into the real estate game, and you don't hear Slim Thug and them rapping like that no more, man. I really think that if you move off, you move into another sector in your life, you start investing in Bitcoin, and you start creating apps, and you start getting into the real estate game. Man, what you really need rap for? Yeah, man, I sign some rappers. I put some cats on my label who willing to sell that rock stuff, but I'm not going to keep that energy around me, man. Do like Jay-Z. Even though I don't listen to Jay-Z like that, I would do like him, man. Let me get on to some other things, man. Like, let me get into some entrepreneurial shit, but I'm not going to keep speaking deaf lyrics in my music, in the atmosphere. We got to find a way to get away from that lifestyle and that mindset. Like, once you make a few million in the rap game, man, I'm out. I holler at you. Let me go invest in some construction. Let me hire some private contractors and build up some of these houses in the community, whatever the case may be. But get off change your mindset, change your surroundings, change what you're talking about. Because many of us, I feel like, we break loose, but we continue talking about stuff and put it in the atmosphere. Words have the power to destroy or create. And what you speaking out there, man, can come full circle back and find you. So I really feel like that, that's unfortunate, that happened to that young man. And it's unfortunate that it's happening to many of our young men. Many of the rappers right here, they call themselves demons and, all of this, man. You speaking that stuff into existence. And then when you end up dying, it's really not a surprise because you put that in the atmosphere. So we really have to kind of change that mindset, man. And that's really what I want to say on it. Yeah, man. And I see you, GK. Yeah, we got a lot of this race global unity worship, and it's not gonna happen. Yeah, absolutely, man. A lot of our people are self-defeated, bro, and don't feel that they can accomplish anything and blame it all on the white man. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I just went to a restaurant the other night with 5 successful black men. We were the only black men in the restaurant. nice restaurants, $70, $80 plates or whatever. We was the only black men in there, man. But we was in there for a reason because we had been applying ourselves and working hard. It's not like somebody stopped us at the door and said, "Hey, y'all black, y'all can't come in here." Yeah, they said, "Hey, you got the money to pay to come in here. You got the money to valet. You got the money to have on the right type of attire." And so, therefore, many of us do need to put our minds to it and stop having a defeated mentality. Of course, you look at a lot of these college games, like the college stadiums are full with peoples of other races, mainly white people, man. And we just have to do more to encourage our people that we can do it. And not saying that, just because you encourage somebody they can do it, but we have to know how to look at the right type of financial aid. Stop telling our kids, "Hey, well, man, you might not want to get no financial aid, man. You might not want to get no student loans, man. I don't know about that." Hold on, man. First of all, hold on, man. Don't do that to that child because you never know what their dreams may be. It may be worth them to go get a student loan to go be an orthodontist. It might be worth them to go get a student loan to be an anesthesiologist. It might be worth them go getting a student loan so they can be surrounded by different people of different ethnicities to help them open their mind to the world. Not saying that you gotta go super in depth. We all know, I ain't say we all know, but for those that don't know, when you go to a college and let's say you get a student loan and financial aid, your school only costs you this much, but they give you that much on your student loan. The rest of that money comes to you. So many of us cannot get a business loan in the first place. So why not take that Stafford money, that unsubsidized unsubsidized loan, or the extras left over from that Pell Grant, and use that to invest in your first business, or just put the money in the bank, or buy you some stock, or whatever you may do with it. But stop telling people to stop doing that. Many of our kids, man, I'm in the hood. I work in the hood. I'm in the hood every day. And many of our kids, parents, can't expose them to certain careers and lifestyles because they haven't, been able to accomplish that themselves. So we got to encourage our youth and give them the support, and stop letting people get us emotionally tied to the white supremacy hustle, man. Not saying that, like I said, not saying that it's not happening. And it's not prevalent, because it is. It's definitely prevalent. I was at a restaurant, 2 weeks ago, and like the white waitress, I can say seemed like the white waitress, pretty much ignored me and my two partners, and took the order, of the white kids who came in right before us, but they had got their food, drinks, and was ready to go before we even got, our first order in. So I'm not trying to say it doesn't, exist, because it does exist. But at the same time, we have to have that what in spite of mentality. We got to grind this thing out. And God made us black, and it's an advantage. It's perceived as a disadvantage, but it's really an advantage because most people want to be like you. They like it's always a good underdog story. Everybody loves a good underdog story. So you know, let's appreciate, what we have, and let's continue to move forward. Now, there's one more little story I wanted to touch on real quick. The first story was the Tatiana Jefferson, the young lady who was killed in Fort Worth, right? So, of course, right now, I guess I'll share the article with you guys. All right, let's see, I can share the article real quick and get out of here because I know they're about to call back. But all right, with the Tatiana Jefferson thing, man, they are trying to move the case out of Fort Worth, which I really feel like is unfair because, it happened in Fort Worth. This is a Fort Worth police officer. Why not try him in Fort Worth by the people? So they trying to get it moved out of Tarrant County, which I really feel like is unfair. But guess what? Amber Geiger's trial was done in Dallas. Wasn't OJ tried in LA? Like, what's up? Didn't George Floyd get tried at where he got killed at in his city? Like, I don't really feel like that's fair. I know that why they want to do it, because they want people that's less familiar with the case to try the case and probably get a better, a more biased jury selection. But I really feel like that case should be tried in the city of Fort Worth, where the crime took place, and of course he should be charged appropriately, bro. On the clip just talked, I'm seeing a few flies. How to look at that. All right, bet. All right, cool. Like I might not have to take the cow, but anyways, so I just wanted to just talk about that for those of you guys who may not been, up to date on this and what's going on, man. So make sure you guys are staying abreast up on that situation, and hopefully, that thing will pan out soon, man. So I'm gonna stop it right there, and I'm gonna go to the last one real quick. And the last one I wanted to talk about was this story I saw today as well, and it's about a man who goes on, I guess, a little rampage about killing his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, then his ex-wife, then himself. It's a black man. Now, check this video out real quick. We'll come on this, but I'll make it quick.
For everybody out there that supported me and really knows what's going on, thank you all. I've been going through a custody battle. I've been going through having my ex-wife say I molested my children and all kinds of craziness. Been fighting for custody for 3 years. So, shit has been real crazy. What's up, Oliver? You know about this. Going through it with my ex-wife, also start dating somebody new, and she got pregnant, and we got the fight. First thing she does, threatening that she's gonna do the same thing, never gonna see your kids, blah blah blah. It's the holidays, man. I don't have no family, nothing. Anyway, I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Felt like a dream. Like I never thought I would be that guy. I can't go to prison, so the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she next, and then I'm going to do myself too. But I just wanted to say this to people: don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Oh, here's my ex-wife right here.
Man, man, man. And it goes on to say, guys, that's a sad situation, man. And the article goes on to read, all right, so apparently man gunned down his former girlfriend in Baltimore, then murdered his ex-wife and confessed to killing and confessed to killings on Facebook Live before shooting himself. Say Rajay or Raji Sharif Black, 44, admitted he murdered his ex-girlfriend, Tara LeBang, Saturday afternoon while outside the Columbia apartment building of his ex-wife, Wendy Natalie Black, according to the chilling clip. Scroll down a little bit. It says Black's 42-year-old ex-wife then comes to a doorway. The video shows before suddenly cutting out. Oh, here's my ex-wife, Black says. And it looks like police said Black fatally shot the woman moments later before turning the gun on himself. The couple's 2 children were found hurt in his gray BMW outside the woman's apartment building, authorities said. Man, that's sad. And that's unfortunate, man. And that's a sad situation to have occurred. I saw that today, and I just wanted to talk about it. And I know the video a little long, man. I try not to make them too long, but since I don't make them that often, I try to touch on a few things and get on. But that goes to me to speak about, like he just said. I mean, it's not a cool move to have your heart broken, kill anybody. First of all, you know, you gotta learn how to. Man, I know going through it, through emotions initially, because trust me, I know, man. I know it could be painful. Breakups are painful, especially when children are involved, people making false allegations on you. That's a painful process, and you want them to pay for it, but in the same breath, man, we gotta also recognize that we got to seek help and be strong about certain things like that. And prior to, we have to do the best we can to screen out the people in our lives that aren't for us. Like, for instance, right now, man, a lot of us don't really vet the people that we bring in our lives as far as dating. You know, we may be physically attracted to them. Oh, he's handsome. He makes that money. He drives this. Oh, she's cute. Body looks like this. But a lot of the times, man, that blinds you until it blinds you from what a person is really like. And you have to sometimes go for the person who is more beneficial to you on the inside than they are on the outside. Because man, when it gets that deep, man, like sometimes you only seeing red and you're not thinking clear, and nobody can really talk you out of that type of thinking. So that was an unfortunate situation, man. And I'm not gonna call him some dudes would call him a simp and this and that. Yeah, he didn't. He was wrong. He definitely was wrong. Um, he definitely should have sought help, regardless of what he was going through. But we have to do better, man, about who we decide to put in our lives and bring in our lives. Who we decide to bring children in the world with. And a lot of us need to decide if we are even ready to even bring children in the world. A lot of us don't have the mindset, don't have the finances, nor the resources to really be reproducing. Just because you're grown and you can doesn't mean you do. When you bring children in the world, especially in our community, in our black community, you need to have you need to, it would be preferred that you have a certain level of education. This goes for any group, that you have a certain level of education and then you have a certain amount of resources, because children don't ask to come in this world. And by me, of course, being in education, I see many children brought into this world, and not even just in education, just period, being in the hood, just going to the hood. You see a lot of kids brought into this world who parents don't, and y'all see it too, who just are, who don't have the capabilities financially or even mentally to raise the children to get the most out of the child and elevate them to the highest capacity that child deserves to be brought to. And so that's what I mean about, like, self-inflicted wounds. Not saying that, being raised by, like my partner saying, like single mothers or being raised by somebody that may be more financially challenged doesn't mean your child cannot aspire to be somebody great. But you kind of minimizing their chances. So we have to start, uh, recognizing that when we bring people into our lives, and especially when we start talking about reproducing with those people, we have to make sure these are the right people. Like many of us, we're moving too fast. We're not taking things in consideration, and that's what lead to situations like the one we just watched, where a man is ready to, murder his ex-wife and murder his ex-girlfriend and all these type of things, because I'm pretty sure this brother had taken the time to vet these women more. He probably wouldn't have reproduced with them in the first place. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have. Maybe they were good people and think the situation may have just turned it. But we have to do better about that, And so my condolences go out to the women who lost their lives, and the brother who was, took his own life, who was, struggling psychologically, mentally. But we got to do better, man. As a people, as a unit, as a country, as a community, we have to. And I want everybody to understand before I wrap this thing up, and I appreciate you, GK, my boy, is that I know America, the country that we live in, the United States of America, many people bash the United States. Like, oh man, it's so racist. The United States this and the United States that. But I got a question for you, brothers and sisters, people of the world. What country would you switch to go live in? And somebody said right now, man, you know what? You ain't got to live in the United States. You can go live in XYZ country. What would you pick? Would you pick China? Would you pick France? Would you pick, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt? Would you pick Great Britain? Would you pick France, Italy, Rome, Spain, Colombia? Ecuador? No, Canada, Mexico, Russia, Ukraine, Australia, the continent, but still, where would you go? So that's my thing, man. This is not a perfect place. It's far from perfect. But we have to make a better situation, because we have to make this situation better because, we do have a lot of opportunity in this country. But we have to, it's like my partner was saying the other day. He said, it's the land of the free, but it's the home of the brave. The free live here, but those who stand up and are brave, who say, hey, I'm gonna be self-employed, or hey man, step out and speak on truth and I'll make something happen, make something shake. This is their home. You see the people, who just want, just kind of just coasting in the mix, and they take everything how it go. Those are the ones struggling and complaining all the time. But the people who are willing to get out here and be brave, they love it. They're like, man, I'm able to go to Six Flags. I'm able to jump on a flight, go to Hollywood one weekend, maybe go to Hawaii, go to Florida, Miami, go kick it. And hey, man, like at the end of the day, bro, you can't go do that in a lot of these countries. You censored. Racism is everywhere across the world. From South America to Japan to even in Africa. They tribal. A lot of those people are tribal. You saw the movie Hotel Rwanda where the Tutsis were killing the Hutu. And it's about them tribes. So we have to make the best out of our situation. Even here in America, man, I'm from Dallas. So, growing up using Fort Worth, it was a big problem. And those are the things I feel like I said, coming back to our self-inflicted wounds. We have to, recognize that and address that, and we can move ourselves forward. We can move the countries forward, move the country forward. We can move our community forward, and we can really start seeing a change. Because the financial gap, if we continue doing how we're doing, will never begin to close itself. And it's right now it's so huge to where it could be it's almost depressing. Because when, like I said in the other videos, like when you look at the skyline of Dallas, you see all these beautiful, high-rise buildings. You go to New York, you see all these high-rise buildings. You go to Miami, you see all these high-rises, and they showing off they skyline. Man, black people don't own none of that. They owned by other races, man. But not saying that we can't. But if we continue to be distracted and following behind somebody else's agenda, playing us for puppets, we'll never own those high rises. We'll never own those chain of grocery stores and buy up those leases. So yeah, GK, yeah, man, real quick, I hit you up, yeah. So of course, I check out ADOS and I listen to that boy Tariq Nasheed with the FBA. You know what I'm saying? And so, as being, of course, we are, being an American descendant of a slave and what I consider a foundational Black American. Because if you see my first name Teno, right? And that has Native American ancestry. So I do realize, I do see, just like that cat that be on Facebook, can't think of his name right now, but he always talks about how we were already here. Like many of us, Black Americans, came from these Black Native American tribes, like the Blackfoots, the Seminoles, like Queen Califia out there in California, although these dark-skinned, Aboriginal people of the land. Like I always used to say, like when you look at the Aboriginal people of Australia, those are dark-skinned people. Like you see that movie Rabbit Proof Fence, where they took all the dark-skinned people in Australia and bred the children with the white people to brighten up the colors. Like I think that could have possibly happened to many of us. And many of us, I believe this is our homeland. Maybe integrated us with a lot of the slaves that were brought in from Africa, because most of us know that most of the slaves were actually brought to Brazil, and only like 200,000 made it up here to North America, which turned into 30 million Black people, right? It makes you wonder, did they resell us our own history so we won't be fighting for our land right and knowing, hey man, this is actually our land. We are the actual aboriginal people of this land, and you just told us we were Africans to, so play this mind game. Because if you take my child from me as an infant and you tell my child as an infant, say, hey man, you just a slave that was brought over here. Not knowing, that baby would never know, hey man, no, you're not no slave that was brought over here. You was actually aboriginal. Your people been over here for thousands of years, even before the Mongolian type of people who crossed the ice bridge. Because we all know that the Africans circumvented the globe. That's why you got pyramids all over the world. They've been over here. The Moors actually the ones who gave Christopher Columbus now all of the directions to get over here when the Moors were defeated and by the Spanish Granada with Queen Elizabeth and King Ferdinand in 711. They were able to get those maps and all of those things to be able to even come over here, and they had the Moors to help them bring them over here. So I think that a lot of our bloodline does go back further or in a different route than just saying that we just Africans who were brought over here, mixed with a few white people, XYZ. Nah, I think, that's part of the story. But I also think part of the story was, we were native people too, who were blended in and told and resold a different story. So, Dane Calloway. Yeah, bro. Dane Calloway. Yeah. Yeah, Dane Calloway. That's him, man. Exactly, bro. You be on top of it, bro. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so man, I really think that's part of our history, man. And but kind of like how how they say, man, the proof is in the books. If you want to hide something from somebody, you put it in the books, man. And if I had it, man, I show y'all a picture of my great grandfather Teno, who's Native American, who's standing with the bird and everything with him and everything. But so man, so when it comes to which you identify with, ADOS or FBA, kind of like how Tariq was saying, I always thought ADOS was not a movement. It was just you recognizing that your lineage was the descendant of a slave. And of course, on the foundational Black American side of it, I really feel that we as American descendants of slaves are the foundational Black Americans because we are not immigrants. Many of us were native people, and even the part of us that's not native, you never asked to come over here. You were brought here. So that's what made me make my words my $450,000 shirt, because if you don't offer immigrants who illegally came over here, some form of reparations, then you definitely owe the people who never asked to come over here, who built the country, who are the reasons you able to have all of these high-rise buildings and all of these acreages of lands and these railroad companies, because they built this off their free labor, So, yeah, bro. Yeah, so that's really my perspective on that, man. Yeah, bro. So let's see. Okay, Ohio, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, bro. So you right on top of it, man. I really think that that's part of the hidden history, and they play that game, but if they keep you caught up in football games, Cowboys games, and want to watch LeBron them, and the late up celebrity gossip, and then they can trick you and keep us so distracted. Before you know it, you woke up, or you woke up, it's you on your deathbed. You're like, man, I didn't get a chance to get out here and speak up for my people and tell the truth or my truth, because they want you to be distracted. They want us to waste our time playing games or chasing these just being detoured, not really trying to get to the roots of everything that's going on, man. So yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of our people don't take pride in our heritage and our ancestry, and don't even take time to even look at it. We so caught up in, I just saw the other day, who was that? Nicki Minaj? No, not Nicki Minaj. That's Nicki. No, not Nicki Minaj. The other chick. They did the song with Cardi B. She just graduated from TSU and got her degree, man. And you know, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people, man, they playing games on us, man. They get you to think that life is about this ignorance, but they behind the scenes getting their degrees and educating themselves. And you know, I think it was like pharmacy or something. Megan Thee Stallion, that's it. Megan Thee Stallion just got her degree and everything. So, anyways, man, I've been on here long enough. Let me give my lady calling. Hey, baby. Okay, all right, sweetheart. Hope you have a good night. I'll talk to you in a little bit, okay? I love you too. Bye. You know what it is, man. So, anyways, guys, you know, hey, it's the baby calling. You have to be 100. So, anyways, man, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. So, man, I hope you guys have a good night, man. Lord bless. I'll see y'all this Sunday, man. And yeah. Man, you can't chase these celebrities around, man, because a lot of them they have this hidden agenda, and the hidden agenda is to keep you distracted, man. Keep your mind off of conversations and things like this, because you know once they see you waking up, you know they know that it could be some type of judgment and some type of reckoning, and that's unity is what they fear the most. They don't want you to be unified, man. They don't want that. That's not in the plan. Like I told you, I'm not. I'm not saying that everybody is a bad person regardless of their race, but you do got some, you got some our own people who will sabotage you themselves. So you just got to be careful, man. But anyways, man, I hopefully I'll be back on Sunday, man. It's good conversing with you guys. GK, man, you hold it down, bro. You keep doing your thing, man. I see you got that game, you own it, man. Y'all stay blessed up there in Ohio, and all my people down south, down here in Texas, man. Let's wake up and let's work together. Like love your brother, love your sister, educate them babies. Push them forward, man. And these celebrities, man, these cats who was big in the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s, who still pumping that murder music and don't apologize for the lyrics that they put out. Because Dolores Tucker was right. You got to step away from some of that stuff, man, for a little bit. Find yourself, man. Listen to some classical music. Listen to some jazz, man. Cleanse your mind. You can't unsee something. You can't unhear something. So once you see it or once you hear it, it's in you. It's on you, and you can't scrub it out. So stop, poisoning your mind. Stop poisoning your soul by seeing and hearing things that you can't take away from you. But anyways, man, God bless you all. Hope you guys have a good rest of y'all week. Hopefully I'll see y'all Sunday. I'm going to try to tune back in on Sundays. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, stay blessed. Salute to you, G. Hold it down, bro. Peace.